Welcome to What the F1, our latest episode where we would be strictly talking about 2026 Canadian Grand Prix. This is your host Abhinav, along with me is Ankit.
So, picture this a 19-year-old leading the championship by 43 points, four wins on the bounce, the only guy quick enough to beat his own teammate, who won the sprint, took pole position, led every lap until he saw his engine die on him on lap 30. After that, he went on to throw his headers onto a live track. Meanwhile, Hamilton's back, Verstappen's again back on the podium, and McLaren put on wet tires for what seemed to be a dry race and scored zero fucking points. And the funniest thing happened to Alonso, he got knocked out of the race by his own seat. So, welcome to the Canadian GP. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so we'll have to start with the Mercedes Civil War. It was everything. It had sprint crash, it was GP wheel banging, it was their team principal giving advice to give the position back. George Russell led every lap that mattered in Montreal and walked away with nothing. He just got really unlucky with points, but the person who really did well was Kimi Antonelli, who is now sitting at a 43-point lead. That is just
Yeah.
insane by a 19-year-old. What did you think about the whole fight and where Antonelli lies?
I think the fight just reminded me back of the good old days when Nico and Luis used to fight each other and just crash each other out or just out for each other. But I think Toto will still be happy because relatively it was a very clean racing. But the funniest thing, happened, and that was the funniest moment for me for the whole weekend. That when Toto just said to Kimi to stop moaning on the radio and focus on the driving. So yeah, that was one of the highlights of the weekend for me.
Yeah, like sometimes it makes me wonder whether car got fucked up on its own or something was in play. I don't know. Like I'm suspicious about it, but like
I mean,
him,
it seems like Piastri 2025,
yeah.
but I hope they did it.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who the next Mercedes driver would be in the future. Then we'll know. But yeah, like
Yeah.
Russell slamming his car, then the stewards coming for investigation for throwing rest of onto the live track. That frustration of Boyle and anger, it was just amazing. And I'm sure Verstappen would be laughing where all the times Russell was saying you have to be calmer and all of those things. That was really fun to watch, and it would be for him also.
Yeah, I think Verstappen would be quietly enjoying after George passed so many comments of him being aggressive and then going on to do exactly the same thing when he got beaten by his own teammate. So yeah, I think Verstappen would be happy, even more happy than getting his podium, I guess. But yeah, I think it was a very good race for Red Bull. But Verstappen admitted that it was not just because of Red Bull's upgrade, but rather McLaren's fuck up and engine blowing up for Russell that got him the P3. But I think the pace is there and they need to work on few upgrades and they might be in the fight consistently for the podiums, but it's still far from there.
Yeah, even Hajar was in the fifth position, right? Like, I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the second Red Bull seat is finally scoring some points, I guess, because
Finally.
finishing P5 when your teammate Max Verstappen is P3, I think it's a very good result they should be proud of.
Yeah, yeah. After destroying so many second drivers' careers in Red Bull, it was just fun to see Haja just doing well. But
Yeah.
yeah, like McLaren, speaking of McLaren, right? Like they really fucked it up here. I mean, they no one is talking about it enough, in my opinion, given whatever they are already like shitting on them. Like McLaren are just were constructor champions in 2025. Now they are sitting third. That's horrible. Piastri's penalty, Norris DNF, this sus inter-tire decision. All of them didn't work out, and most of them were not supposed to work out. Like there was only 50% chance of rain. I don't think you should still be going or gambling enters with both of your drivers, by the way. That's just
Exactly.
insane. But yeah, other drivers definitely in the top took advantage of them. Ferrari did really well. Leclerc
Yeah.
and Hedja fight I liked. It was going somewhere, but Hedja is still not matured. But
Exactly.
having said that, Hamilton and Verstappen fight was just amazing. Like it just reminded me of 2021. Although I still wanted Verstappen to be second rather than Hamilton. That overtake in the end stinged a little.
I mean, at this point, none of them are fighting for a championship, so they're just happy to battle each other and have a good laugh about it. But speaking of McLaren, I think whatever could go wrong did go wrong for them. I mean, finishing a race with a car and still not getting a point out of it is just humiliating for them. But there's another team which went under the radar, that is Alpine. You know, they had one of the best weekends combined with both drivers in the last, I think, 2, 3 years, because scoring points that to a P6 and P8 is a great result for them, by the way. And you know, I'm very happy to see Colapinto scoring points back again. But you see, Gasly has been one of the most consistent drivers apart from the top, I guess, top two drivers. Not even top three or four, I'll say. It's just apart from the Mercedes driver, he has been the one consistently scoring points for Alpine.
Yeah, he definitely had potential. Kola Pinto, I'm really
Yeah.
surprised with. I really didn't expect that he would be able to perform this well, given what we saw in 2025.
Yeah, I think give him a decent enough car and he's performing almost as same as Gasly. And to
Hmm.
be in his, I think, first full year, even though he has almost 1 year of experience, even if you consider a 2 year experience, still he's doing very good, I suppose. If he managed to continue this throughout the whole season, then I think he'll be doing a great job.
Yeah, I was really happy to take Gasly in my fantasy system. And I was like, yeah, Colapinto wouldn't be able to do it. And I was so happy that I would be up by a huge margin. But now the result is not speaking that. I'm sure you must be happy, and I really want to kill you,
Of
but
course.
okay, we won't go there because there's a lot of race left. There would be a lot of opportunities where Russell wouldn't fuck it up or his car wouldn't disappoint him like it did.
Yeah, I'm just happy that to overtake you in the points. And even though this early, I was not expecting by the judging by the gap I had after the first race, I was not expecting this turnaround within 10 races at least. Because considering if I just edge you out by 2, 3 points, then it'll take me a 10 race span. But it's
Yeah.
just Kimi on Russell thing for you.
I guess
First race
you
was good,
picking
but
Kimi,
after that
right?
it just went all downhill.
Yeah, you picking Kimi made all the difference, which I was really
Right.
laughing out loud, but yeah, whatever. Now I guess I cannot do that.
Yeah. But the next race is Monaco, supposedly the most boring race of the season. Let's
Yeah.
see if this regulation changes anything with the smaller cars and these battery deployments and energy saving and everything. So, what do you think? What are your top three picks for the next race?
Given how boring it's going to be, I would pick Mercedes to be top two. I mean, it has to be, right? Because a
Yeah,
street circuit will reward the fastest car.
right.
But I think Russell would try to take as much revenge as possible. He'll still go for it if his car doesn't disappoint him. So I'll pick Russell first. I'll go with Antonelli second. Third, I'll go with Norris because I think McLaren cannot just do these fuck ups again and again. They'll just pick up from here. I'm
Yeah, I
guessing,
think it has to stop at some point. So,
yeah. I'm guessing for you, number one would be Kimi for obvious reasons.
yeah, of course, I have some loyalty towards him, but yeah, I'll take Kimi first, but I'll put Norris second because I think
Oh.
since he won, I think last year or the year before, and he has been pretty good in that circuit. So I would have put Leclerc in third, but I don't know how good that Ferrari is. Okay, but I was about to put George at third, but let's do this way. I'll put Kimi P1, Norris P2, and Leclerc P3. Just for the
Oh.
sake that he had been performing very well. He had his bad luck, but he has always performed well in this track.
I guess you're rooting for another Russell engine failure.
No, I'm just rooting for him to a bad driver.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, to all our viewers, you also comment and tell who your top three predictions would be. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.